Hello! In this video we will cover the Morphed instrument interface. As you can see, the Morphed instrument's layout is pretty similar to the 3-mic interface, with the main difference being it is using a one-channel strip design. This is because for these instruments, all signal is routed into one stereo channel. All of the effects are the same as before, and are piped in as master effects. Now I want to show you something that is in all of the instruments in Rumble, and that is our core effect sequencer. We introduced the core effect sequencer with rave review and cinematic guitars, and it truly has huge power. We took this core effect sequencer and built on it, giving you additional ability to not only automate an effect by drawing it in with a step sequencer, but also giving you the ability to toggle the core effects sequencer into LFO mode, which allows you to create and assign custom LFO settings to automate an effect. So I can change the speed and fade in of the LFO, as well as the shape or wave type. This new LFO functionality is available with filter, volume, and pan, and it really does some cool stuff. We also added to the core effects sequencer a re-trigger option, which is defaulted to on in most cases. When re-trigger is active, the step sequencer will start from the beginning of the sequence on every new note that is played. When you turn re-trigger off, the internal clock keeps running even when you're not playing, and the step sequencer does not reset. So, every time you press a note, you can catch the effect automating at different points within the sequence. And, like with cinematic guitars, you will find that pretty much every effect in every instrument has the ability to be automated using the core effects sequencer. Another feature that you will find in all of the instruments in Rumble is our newly redesigned Arpeggiator and Articulator. The Arpeggiator is our tried and true standard arpeggiator that works great, and I think the options here are pretty straightforward, especially if you've owned any of our previous products. The big new introduction to this module is with the Articulator. What the Articulator does is take the input velocity of how hard you press a note, and then it adds or subtracts from that velocity value the amount that is displayed in the Articulator for each customizable step in the sequence. So if I press a note half strength at a velocity of 64, for example, it'll add or subtract from that value of 64 on all additional steps. And if the step is all the way down, it plays a silent rest. What makes this really cool are all of the additional features that go along with the Articulator. The Humanizer, for example, when turned on, can randomly add or subtract from the velocity so that every time that the Articulator plays through the sequence, the velocities change on every step in the sequence. So if I set this to plus minus 60, for example, on every step it'll add or subtract a number from 0 to 60 on the velocity of each step in the sequence. This feature works particularly well with our traditional instruments that are recorded with multiple round robins at multiple dynamics. We also have this sustain pedal button, which when turned on, allows you to play the instrument with the Articulator in off position like a standard instrument, and when the sustain pedal is pressed, the Articulator turns on. Again, this is really useful, especially for the traditional instruments, and is also a great tool for live performance applications where you can shuffle between these two modes using a sustain pedal. Alright, so that covers the Morphed instrument interface. In this next video, we will cover the loop instruments, which is something we put a lot of time in developing, and I can't wait to show you.